touch of James Child, who is the referee here tonight. We saw him a couple of weeks ago. He had a fine game in control of the match that we watched. James Child, one of the youngsters in the refereeing ranks. It's going to be Salford who will get us underway here at the start of this match, and it's a vital game, Steve-O, for the City Reds.
Certainly is, and their coach Sean McRae says that they've trained very well indeed. They realise they've got to get into the faces of this whole outfit, have shown some real class so far in Super League this year. Interesting to watch out the clash between the two halfbacks, Sean Long and Matty Smith. That'll be a key area for both sides, looking for a vital 2 points in the Super League table.
This is Lee Radford, who's driven it in on the third tackle for the Black and Whites, and Fitzgibbon just managed to hang on to that. No, he didn't manage to hang on to it. It's a knock-on by Craig Fitzgibbon, although he's claiming the ball was knocked out of his hands.
Yeah, I think he might have a little bit of a... It was a pretty good hit, though, from Malcolm Alker. The one good thing, it was a shocking pass, and in fact, looking at the replay, it may have been a touch forward, but tried to just kid the official, James Child, having none of it. The Reds have a golden chance.
They have, and this is Adam Sidlow. This is his first start of 2010, been sub in the last 5 matches. Malcolm Alker, the Salford skipper, and Luke Adamson now will drive it forward, trying to go past Jordan Turner, the number 19 in the Black and Whites, who has moved to East Yorkshire from Salford during the close season. Good movement here from Salford. That is Daniel Holdsworth, and the City Reds are within 5 metres of the Black and Whites line. And that's Ryan Boyle, the man who's been brought to Salford from the Castleford Tigers. It's a penalty because there's messing around on the floor.
I'll be surprised if they take the 2. They'll tap this one. I'm sure Alker will go for it, and he has done.
Here is Luke Swain trying to put the pressure on the whole line early. O'Mealy is there on his back to bring him down with Danny Tickle, who gave the penalty away. Alker gets it away to Matty Smith. Matty Smith, oh, it's an awful pass. It's gone behind everybody, but Fitzpatrick has it for the Salford City Reds. He wasn't tackled, and so he gives it to Henry. The referee shouted play on.
Move! Hold! Go! Foot on the ball,
and he will play it to Stephen Tyrer. Ball comes infield, and Hull with a big job to do again here.
You could see the tackle was not completed. They were hoping that perhaps they may gain a penalty. Voluntary tackle, very rare you see one of those.
Good defensive stint here from the Black and White so far. Alker switches the direction of the attack. Another poor pass. Boyle again drives it forward for the City Reds. That's the last one. They're right underneath the Hull posts here. Alker and Holdsworth, a short pass and a chance and a try. A try for Salford in their first attack. I think it's Sidlow, isn't it? And Sean McRae's men have come out of the traps really quickly here. And Sidlow, the man with the shaved head, on this his first start of the year, been sub in the last 5. 16 appearances for Salford in 2008, including a Northern Rail Cup final appearance. And the former Widnes and Workington man has given the Salford City Reds the perfect start here against Hull.
They got the penalty right in front of the sticks. It was obvious that Malcolm Alker, the Salford skipper, was not going to go for the easy 2 points, and it has paid off. And what an effort from Sidlow. It looked as though he was tackled short, but watch him reach out here. This is unbelievable. Ball carrying arm did not touch the deck under the attention of Sean Long, and a smile all over the man's face, and rightly so. That was a wonderful effort. It's such a big danger for anybody to reach out, maybe injuring the shoulder, but he got it.
Holdsworth to try and add the extras, which he does, and the Salford City Reds lead by 6 points to 0.
And a massive boost for Salford. You know, they haven't started games well this season. They've really been outscored in that opening 10-minute period. But I think it's a massive boost for the confidence. After a demoralising defeat last week, it was important for them to put some points on the board, especially with the field position they had here in the opening few minutes. They converted that pressure for the first try.
Well, it's been a wonderful start to the season for Hull, but they have lost their last 2 away games. And one of them was against the Crusaders as well, so it is A tremendous start this for the Salford City Reds.
Certainly was, but an indifferent start, Eddie. When you think about it, there was two shocking passes that the Reds had thrown out. Looked as though they were all at sea, no coordination, and then when it counted, Sidlow came charging onto a beautiful and perfect pass.
This is Luke Swain, 38th consecutive appearance. Richard Agar in the black and white scarf there and showing his colours. That's a great ball off the deck. It's Fitzpatrick for Salford.
Tremendous stuff from the prop forward, Ray Cashmere. Outstanding, he had two men in attention.
Not the best kick. Not the best kick, that from Alker, straight into the arms of Jordan Tansey.
And that is the one thing that Sean McRae has got to get the message out there. Jordan Tansey, he is very quick indeed. It was good positioning by the full-back. They've got to try to get it away. Hit terra firma, try to get it bouncing all over the joint, but it's good defence from the Reds so far.
This is Marco Mealy for Hull. In quickly at dummy half was Berrigan. Fitzgibbon will drive it forward. Craig Fitzgibbon, top draw signing, even at the age of 32. Berrigan, scampering little run, cut down on the last tackle. Luke Swain with an important tackle on him. And Long's pass on the bounce finds Willie Manu. He goes wide, and then the pass out from Kirk Yeaman. Well, he almost found the touch judge. He didn't find one of his colleagues.
Well, it's amazing. They nearly caught the Red sliding defence out there. You can see Stephen Tyrer. It was virtually no man's land. He came off the whitewash, and Tom Briscoe really should have taken that. It just went behind him. Combination of perhaps a poor pass from Yeaman and the winger just going a little bit too early.
Ryan Boyle was collared there by Radford and Fitzgibbon. Here is the try scorer, Adam Sidlow. Let's go downstairs to Bill, because he's out in the cold, and I think you've got a condition report for us, Bill.
Well, Eddie, it's just the fact that the sun is getting pretty low here. Of course, this early evening kick-off here at the Willows has meant on a beautiful day that there's still plenty of sunshine and just dropping low over the stand, and it's going to be difficult, I think, for Tom Briscoe on this side and Jordan Tansey as well, who are going to be looking into that sun. And already this call has come once or twice for Salford to give the ball some air. If they do, they could have problems.
Far too high there from Kirk Yeaman, and Hull just don't seem to have settled into this game at all. Two silly penalties, one right in front of their own sticks, and now they've lost 30 metres forward.
It's Boyle again for the Salford City Reds. 2-year deal from Castleford, Ryan Boyle. And the try scorer once more, Adam Sidlow. Here's a knock-on though by Sidlow. Big hit by Manu, and they're congratulating Yeaman as well.
Well, he gave away the silly penalty. Oh, there's a strip. There's a strip there, 2-on-1. And you could see that Sean Long turns to James Child, the official, and says, he knocked on, sir, he knocked on. Well, he got the rubber green, did this man, Sean Long. Interesting to note, though, when Salford were running in across there, Hull's defence, they were not moving up. They were standing back and waiting to see what the Reds were going to throw at them.
Bit of a slow start by the black and whites, Brian.
He's absolutely... You can hear me, yeah. You'd hope that Salford can capitalise. If it's a bit of a sluggish start from Hull, you'd hope that Salford will be able to get a few more points up on the board. Errors like that aren't going to help them, and they're going to have to improve their kicking game. Like Steve-O says, they're going to have to find the ground, try and punch it into the corners, and get Hull coming off their own line.
Berrigan at dummy half for Hull. Here's now Jordan Turner. He must know every blade of grass on this Willows pitch. Jordan Turner, even though he's only 21, he was outstanding in 2008 as the City Reds gained promotion to the Super League, and he's making his first return to the Willows since his move in the winter. And that's Jody Broughton underneath all that heavy traffic. Tom Briscoe was there. Here now is Ray Cashmere. Oh, he loses the ball there. It went backwards and has been gobbled up by Marco Mealy.
Well, it was a gift. And really, in that position, the Reds really should have just shut up shop, make sure they get good ground forward, and then get the kick away. It was silly trying to offload there from Cashmere.
Now Radford to drive it in once again, met by resolute defence from the Salford City Reds in that particular tackle. Berrigan, the dummy half, 10 metres away with Long. He gives it width and finds the fullback Jordan Tansey. Good tackle low down it was by Holdsworth. That's the last tackle. Salford defending their line, defending this lead that they've established early. The ball in front of Long, and it bounces off the chest of Radford. It's play on, it's back in the hands of Matty Smith. Matty Smith and Sean Long. St Helens, of course, very much in their CVs. Matty Smith on a season-long loan at Salford from St Helens. Similar to the arrangement with Celtic Crusaders last year.
That was far too hard, though, from the halfback Sean Long, and Lee Radford had no chance to get that. Well, they're at it again. They don't mind
Great
kicking the ball
pass.
away.
That was
What
a
break.
wonderful ball from Holdsworth. This is Stephen Tyrer. He flicks the ball back inside. It's picked up by Jordan Turner. Well, the pass from Holdsworth was fantastic, and Stephen Tyrer knew he was on his way over the sidelines there. That's why he flung it back infield.
Oh, great stuff, wasn't it? You're right. He knew he was going towards a whitewash, but Sean McRae will be bitterly disappointed. There was no support back on the inside. If someone makes a break out wide, you've got to think quickly.
You know, there's one player tonight who still hasn't touched the ball on the right wing for Hull. Reece Lynn in number 25, Eddie. The word on the street is that he is one of the most exciting players in this country, and I just hope at some point in time we get to see what he has to offer.
Here goes Sidlow again. Oh, and it was a pass that was behind the man, Mark Henry.
And Mark Henry has come up with the knock-on, and it's a wonderful break, though, isn't it, from the try scorer Adam Sidlow.
Big hit on Long that gave them the possession.
But look at the quality there. He threw the dummy, and they were all over the shop. Willie Manu was looking towards Manchester City centre, and he was away, just behind him. Nothing they could do.
That's something, Steve, was going to infuriate Sean McRae. They're getting quite a bit of possession from Hull mistakes, but they're coughing it straight back up again, and they're not building any pressure. It's vital in this first half that they build a bit more pressure. The breaks, while they look good, they're still coughing up the ball a tackle later.
Well, Sean McRae was wanting a good start from his side after... Well, he said in the programme notes today they simply didn't turn up last week in the first half at Wakefield, and that is absolutely true. He's looking for a response. He's got it so far, but how long can they hang on to this lead when they keep coughing up the possession as they have done in the opening half here? There's Berrigan. Now it's with Fitzgibbon. And Henry would not be fooled by the attempted dummy. Fitzgibbon is all wrapped up on the last tackle. Watch for the kick here from Long. It's high and it's wide. Looking for Reece Lynn over here, but well claimed by Jody Broughton. And it's a goal line dropout. He's been pushed and forced over the line there.
Well, was the ball carrying arm? Does it hit the deck? It was well taken by Broughton. No, I think that's right. I think the officials got it absolutely spot on. If the momentum had stopped and the ball carrying arm had hit the floor, that would have been deemed the tackle. That's a good decision by James Child.
Dropout finds Turner on halfway. He gives it to Radford. And Lee Radford will trundle this ball forward. Good tackling, though, again from Malcolm Alker, who over the years has tackled his blood to water, run his blood to water for the cause of the Salford City Reds.
Good tactics by Hull. Just slow things down.
Long attacking the line, gives it to Jordan Turner. Gap for Turner. Was quickly closed down by Holdsworth.
Great tackle by the standoff.
Tanzi pushes it back to Manu. Manu thought about releasing the pass under pressure.
Did well to hang on to it.
It's Long again. Here is Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon then to Radford. That's the last tackle, but this time they're 7-8 metres away from the Salford line. Berrigan to Long, looking for a repeat set of 6. Oh, it's bounced back to Long. Now then, here's the first decision of the evening for video referee Steve Ganson to see how on earth that ball has eventually found its way back into Sean Long's hands after he put the little kick in.
Well, the experience from Sean Long, he knows that if he put the ball onto the floor, it can go anywhere, though I don't think that was an intended kick. I think that was a miss-hit. Does he actually hit it? He does, just at the vital moment. Ricochets off Holdsworth and bounces straight back into the hands of the man that started it all, and this, my friends, will be TRY.
Does Long have both feet behind Fitzgibbon when Fitzgibbon kicks the ball back? It's off his knee, I suppose.
Well, it's difficult to say whether it's Fitzgibbon or whether it came off Daniel Holdsworth. Either way, I think this will be given. Steve Ganson is our video referee tonight. He's been around the blocks quite a few times. He's having a look to see whether
I think he's offside.
That Craig Fitzgibbon is a touch of offside. Nothing with the ground in, and he took it well, did Long. Juggles with it. So Ganson's having a look at the... Yeah. Well, we normally feel that if they're going to go that way, it's DIY.
Has Sean Long got the try? Yes, he has. It's only his third try of the season, and he broke his jaw here last year. He got 3 tries on this ground, not for Richard Agar and Hull, but for St Helens in 1999 in a 30 points to 12 win. And the former Great Britain and England international Sean Long has come up with the first try for the Black and Whites. They're back in the match.
I think this was an error. I think he wanted to boot it right into the in-goal area, and it just drifted to the outside of his boot. Just watch. It just dinged straight away. It turns out to be good, but I think that is a miscue. But he's got the black. Doesn't get 7, only gets 4.
Tickle to add the extras. This should be academic for this fellow from that range, and it is. It's 6 apiece.
You know, it would have been really fascinating to have listened to the Salford players as they stood whilst that decision was being made. The self-talk really amongst the Reds had to be positive. It was a soft try to concede, but they have done things very well, and they need to reinforce still playing a positive mindset.
And you know what, Phil, the lesson they'll have learned is build pressure. Credit Richard Whiting for hauling Jody Broughton back over the line, and that's what resulted in an extra set of 6 for Hull to prove too much for Salford in the end. Build pressure early on in the game.
The problem for Salford, they've had plenty of the ball, they've had it in good field position, and they have surrendered the possession back to Hull whenever they have threatened. Here is the young man that we've been anxious to see, Rhys Lynn, 17 years of age, first team debut.
Well, just less than 12 months ago, Eddie, he was playing here in the national under-16s competition for his amateur club, Ideal Iceberg. It's an amazing progression, and let's hope that he does deliver here tonight and have a good first effort.
And I know that you were very excited, Phil, when you saw his name on the team sheet.
Well, really do I arrive at a game as excited to see a young prospect as this, and I'm not going to build him up too much because I think we need to take a 4-year view on a player who's 17, give him 4 years and let's see where he's at the age of 21.
He's got a solid set of legs as well for a young fellow.
Long goes down on the last tackle. There's evidence of what Brian Carney's saying, and up it goes off the boot of Jordan Tansey. That's high. Fitzpatrick's under this. Oh, he lost that in the sun, and he's lucky to get away with it.
Yeah.
He either lost it in the sun or lost it in the wind, one of the two.
I think it was the wind that just took it away at the last moment, but it wasn't the best positional sense, was it? Well, the one thing that Sean McRae, the Salford coach, will be very, very disappointed with is the ability to try to offload in your own half. They've done it twice, and they've dropped it twice.
Alka with the pass inside.
Well, merely could have been done for a late flop there, got away with it.
Yes, Ryan Boyle was on the deck, and Holdsworth's gone for a 40-20 here. He's gone for a 40-20, and I think Jordan Tansey has done very well to stop that. He has. Referee waves play on.
It's always nice to see someone going for the 40-20, but it's also good to find a full back. Oh, and they're messing around. It just ruins a coach's mind. Sean McRae, he would have been happy with a kick in the chase, and then they just mess around time and time again, though. I just get the impression this is the action from Tansey. Great rugby league from both sides, but not on that occasion. Daniel Holdsworth just giving away a stupid penalty and got him again.
Offside this time from the restart. Salford supporters not happy that James Child has just given the second penalty in quick succession against Salford.
Well, you could see that Adam Sidlow just got out of the blocks just a touch too much for the official, James Child.
Here's Mark O'Mealy then on the first drive for Hull. It was Luke Swain who got to him first. Berrigan is at dummy half, and it's Radford who finds Long, who in turn finds Turner, who gives it to Whiting. Good hands from Hull.
They're getting in the swing of things as well. 2 good solid runs from the forwards. Then they're getting the link away with both Turner and Sean Long. Oh, that's a shocking pass there.
It was from Fitzgibbon.
Well, the experienced Australian will not be happy with that. He's had a great season, though, so far. Quite a lot of people out on the East Coast. They feel he's in contention already for the Man of Steel. That won't help his cause.
Two, move.
There he is, Craig Fitzgibbon. He hit the post at Wrexham with a conversion. It would have given Hull the draw there. They lost against the Crusaders. That's a good ball wide. Here is Stephen Tyra, and the kick is an invitation for Fitzpatrick to chase. Oh, it's lost by Rees-Lynn. It's a try for Salford. I think Fitzpatrick's got it. He has. Rees-Lynn came back to cover, and he just lost it on the bounce, and Fitzpatrick following up. The Irish international, he's come up with his third try of the year. I'm not going to say it was gifted by Rees-Lynn, but it was certainly helped by the youngster. It was a great kick at pace by Tyra on the wing, and you have to credit Fitzpatrick because he simply didn't give up the chase. Salford back in front, courtesy of Carl Fitzpatrick. His 60th career try coming in the only win so far at Harlequins. And Fitzpatrick has restored Salford's advantage.
All came about by the header from the experienced Fitzgibbon. Get them in a position, and on the second occasion they caught them on that left side on the defence. That really was wonderful work there by the winger Stephen Tyra. And he got a feel a little bit for Rees-Lynn. He'd come over from the right wing, which all good wingers should come and do and try to, but he just could not take it in. And the fullback Carl Fitzpatrick says we'll take the lead yet again.
Can Holdsworth add the extras for the second time? Yes, he can. Salford lead 12 points to 6 here at the Willows. Not long to go before they move out, they hope, from the Willows to their new ground. Rees-Lynn making his way back to be in the line that restarts the game. But what a fantastic kick at pace from Tyra that was.
It certainly was, and the way that he was so cool, you could see him looking on the inside, but he could sense that the whole defence was coming through. He couldn't get a pass away, left with the option, and it was tremendous play. The combination of the standoff, Daniel Holdsworth putting the winger away, superb. Sean McRae will like that. That's the second time they've punched in on that left-hand side. They're playing towards Sean Long in their defensive line.
Well, I think what's caught them out there, Steve-O, was numbers. They really didn't number up at all. You're right, that left-hand side's made a few poor decisions early on in the game. Kirk Eamon got cut out early on in the first 5 or so minutes. They're going to have to try and, you know, not get so badly exposed for numbers, because people like Daniel Holdsworth will exploit that.
Here goes Alker. Whiting couldn't touch him. He can now because he'd made the 10 metres. Whiting was in all sorts of trouble trying to get back into position to defend that run. Alker plays the ball to Fitzpatrick.
That was good refereeing, Eddie, as well, by James Child.
That's a lovely kick. It's another good kick, and Lynn this time. The referee said to Broughton, you're going to have to give him 10, which he did. He didn't put a hand on him, so Rees-Lynn is able to bring it forward as far as Luke Adamson, and then Luke Adamson just pushes him to the ground.
I just can't believe it sometimes, to do all the hard work and look at that and then get down. If you're going to show your strength, do it in arm wrestling in the pub afterwards. Don't do it out on the field of play like that and give away a silly penalty.
No, credit Rees-Lynn. He's had 2 runs, Steve-O, at the line, and both times he stuck his nose, what they call sticking your nose through the line, and found a quick play of the ball, and that time earned a penalty. He looks dangerous. If they don't get a grip of him in a tackle, he could go the whole way.
Tickle goes down. The second tackle this set of 6. Berrigan finds Radford. Radford takes it up towards Rob Parker, and Luke Adamson, who conceded the penalty, brings him down. Berrigan at dummy half again. Now it's with Long. Long attacking the line, finds Jordan Turner. Here is Jordan Tansey. Just slipped on this lush Willows turf. Always been a great surface here at the Willows. I wonder if they will consider lifting it and taking it with them to their new stadium whenever it is built at Barton, just up the road.
Can they do that?
Why not?
Okay.
This is Long. And now it's Turner again, dancing his way towards the line. And he went for the power play, Jordan Turner. And it didn't quite come off for him.
Well, I'm not so sure that Richard Agar, the coach, would have been happy with that. It's been quite a long time since they've applied the pressure on the Reds line, and they would have been looking for the experience of Sean Long. Put the dink into the in-goal area, which I must say, and it always is at this ground, very, very short in-goal area. Probably the shortest that they're allowed.
It's Rob Parker for Salford, off the bench. Before tonight, he'd started all 7 in the prop forward position.
Gets through a lot of work, doesn't he, this second rower, Adam Sidlow.
40, clear.
Matty Smith's kick right down the middle of the field. Ooh, a horrible bounce for Jordan Tansey, still bouncing. Matty Smith is the man who's leading the chase. They're all onside, therefore. That's good play. Great play by Mark Henry. He was North Queensland Cowboys last year. Or he signed last year from North Queensland Cowboys.
And again, leading the way, Malcolm Alker. Unbelievable worker, isn't he? 13 tackles already in the first 24 minutes. Incredible.
Brian, as an all-winger, you'll just explain what's going on here in this tackle. Is it just a footwork from Lynn?
Well, look, like he's got in between 2 bodies. You're exactly right. If you run straight at him, it makes it easier for the defenders. But he's really making. Gareth Thomas should probably have a look at that and the difference when he ran his first ball in and what the young guy is doing there. He's really sticking his nose through the line and making it very difficult for the defenders. That's 2 penalties in a row he's won.
Is that changing direction just before the defender gets to you?
Well, that's always the hardest to do. I could never do it, but he seems to be doing it well.
Fitzgibbon goes down, second tackle. Plays it to Berrigan. Goes down that short side. Willie Manu was on his shoulder, took the tackle instead. There's Manu now at dummy half, and the pass to Long. Then infield it comes to Ewan Dowes, and Dowes tonight, now that he's off the bench, makes his 199th appearance for the Black and Whites. It's Turner, and Turner gives it to Tickle, who was grounded on the last, but they're just 6-7 metres away from the line. They'll be looking for a repeat set of 6 or better. Long with a kick towards the in-goal area, and it's claimed out of the air, and a try for Kirk Yeaman. One-handed, he picked that up out of the air, Yeaman. It's his 5th try of the season, Kirk Yeaman. He has been without a try for the last 2 matches. Tries in 3 in a row earlier on in the season, but blank the last 2 weeks. And 3 tries in his first ever appearance here at the Willows, way back in July 2004. And Kirk Yeaman comes up with a timely try again for Hull.
And again, high tackles, swinging arm from Luke Swain. Gets the Black and Whites into a good position, but this was ever so simple, wasn't it? It was as though it was in slow motion. He comes right off from the wing. Watch Tyra go in. That should never have been his ball. It should have been left to Mark Henry. And Tyra came away, and it was a gift in the end. Take nothing away from Yeaman. He reached back one-handed, but no pressure applied to Sean Long. He had all the time in the world. It wasn't the best pass to him to start with, but yet he could pinpoint the accuracy, shove it into the corner, and I'm afraid Salford, again, silly penalties have allowed the Black and Whites back into this game.
Yes, Hull are making hay while the sun shines here. That's a try on the back of a 4th consecutive penalty that Salford have conceded.
Well, you almost have to try and charge down this kicker to put him off, Eddie, because he just seems like he never misses, Brian.
No, he's a dead-eye Dick. He's got a lot to his game, and having a goal-kicking second rower with the accuracy of Danny Tickle is a real big bonus.
Do you think if he ran out and charged it down, it would put him off?
I know what you're hinting at, Phil. I did that once on this ground.
He's missed that conversion, though. Between you, the 2 of you have just hexed him out of that. And Salford, they maintain the lead, but only just. It's 12-10. And Yeaman with the try. He's had 3 caps for Britain, 3 caps for England, and he's a talent, this fellow.
And look how much time. It wasn't the best pass. Any pressure on Long? The answer is no. You deserve to have a try against you when you do not coordinate. Oh, talking of coordination.
Yes, confusion between Whiting and Jordan Turner. Whiting came up with the possession, though. Here goes Tickle now. Great offload. Well, it would have been if it had found the man. It found Jordan Turner.
That's
That's a
a
fumble by Fitzgibbon. I think he's got a case here. It might have gone backwards.
How can you face your own try line with a hand like that?
Well, I don't
knock
think
the ball forwards.
I don't think he's actually facing his own try line. I mean, it finished up that way. I would give that a knock on, to be fair.
Well, any fumble in this game is...
I'm with Phil. That's the thing, Eddie. They're punishing any sort of a fumble.
Any fumble in this game, you get punished. So another chance here for the Salford City Reds, and it's with Mark Henry. Good tackle low down by Yeaman. There's Stephen Tyra. Here's Stuart Littler just on the field. He got a try last week in the second half against Wakefield, but the only thing that Salford cheered last week. It's Rob Parker now. Almost half an hour gone. Salford just ahead by 2 points. Alka, the dummy half. Holdsworth taking them on, and Holdsworth almost over the line, just held up short.
Great work from Jordan Tansey. Nice dummy though, wasn't it, from Holdsworth? Showing a lot of quality.
Matty Smith, that ball again, did it go backwards? It doesn't matter because Reece Lynn has it for the black and whites.
Well, another opportunity just wasted there. It wasn't the best pass. It's about the fourth poor coordination pass went through. It was put under pressure. To be fair there, Richard Whiting came out of the line.
Third move. Hold.
But I've been impressed with the way that the black and white said they get in a little bit of a frustration, and then they say, okay, let's calm it down. We'll use the big forwards, get down through, and then we'll leave it all to Sean Long.
Marco Mealy offside against the Salford City Reds. Another penalty against Salford. That's the fifth that Hull have received.
You know, Salford are doing really well here, Eddie. To be in front of the match when you consider Hull have had twice as many chances to attack. Possession inside your opposition's half, something that coaches talk about. Hull have had plenty of it, but Salford's still in front.
Yes, and Salford have had so many chances. I'm reminded of the match we did the other Saturday, Castleford and Hull Kingston Rovers. Castleford had so much possession, they had so many chances, and it came back to bite them in the end.
It's the old story, Eddie. You have to take them. When opportunity knocks, make sure you make a loud bang.
Well, it's knocking here for Hull because that's Craig Fitzgibbon again, and it's on the third tackle, so they've got plenty of time, plenty of opportunity here. Long, short pass, Turner on his return,
Look at this
Jordan Turner touches down, and there is a possibility of obstruction.
Possibility?
He certainly steps right behind the dummy runner. That is quite clear.
Steve Ganson's the video referee, gentlemen.
Well, he takes him completely out on the first two, and then he runs across him. This is no way in the world can it be given. You could have Tom Thumb, Mickey Mouse as the video referee, I don't care. Surely this is not going to be given. Yeaman comes right across. There's first obstruction on the first chime, and he can...
Keep your eye on number 15, Stuart Littler here now, look. Hits collision with Yeaman, ends up on his backside.
This is no try.
Wasn't that just a dodgy decision from Stuart Littler?
Well, he didn't intend to run into Kirk Yeaman when he was trying to get to the man with the ball.
Well, Steve Ganson is the video referee, not us. And he says the try is disallowed, and it's a penalty kick to Salford.
Do you know what I think we see a bit of? I think we see a bit of Hull waiting for Salford to crack instead of trying to crack them. What they've got to go out and they've got to impose themselves on this game and not let Salford grow in confidence, which they will do if they go into half-time, even at this score, 12-10. Sorry, that's a head, sorry. They'd be delighted with that.
I don't think that Richard Agar, I don't know whether he was disgusted with the decision made by his team or whether he is disgusted with the decision made by the video referee, but it was a shake of the head.
I think he realised that Yeaman really should not have come through on that angle and taken out the man. Stuart Littler was the man he took out. In fact, when you see the replay, I think Littler is actually obstructed twice, on the first occasion and on the second. Now they will, Salford yet again attack Sean Long way out on that left-hand defensive position.
No, Parker brings it back this way and attacks Berrigan and gets the penalty because they're not standing square. Hull had to play the ball.
Well, they need a little bit more steadiness now to Salford. Malcolm Alka, the skipper, just telling him to calm down slightly.
On the line.
Not many people gave them an opportunity. He did. Sean McRae, he said they trained exceptionally well all this week, and they were up for it.
They were, and they are, and well, they had to be, really. They had to show some bounce-back ability after last week's, well, debacle, I suppose you would call it, in the first half at Wakefield. Although, credit Wakefield, they were very good. Here is Holsworth again. The pass wide to Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick knows his way to the line, as Hull know already.
Boy, good job that Yeaman come up with a good ball and all tackle.
Alker to Holsworth. Here is Matty Smith. Gives it then to Luke Swain, and he will go up the middle. That's a good tackle low down there by Sam Moa. Now Holsworth and Matty Smith and Willie Tallow. Gets the pass away to Jody Broughton.
Did well, Tallow, to get that under a lot of traffic all around him.
Alker, Matty Smith stabs the kick in behind the defence, bounces a little bit rough for Yeaman. Good chase it was by Littler.
Certainly was good combination as well, but full credit yet again, Kirk Yeaman. He came up with a try-stopping tackle just a few seconds before that. Littler knew exactly where the kick was going. Well, it's been an impressive performance so far by the home side. Not a bad performance by this youngster.
Yes, he's been impressive in the game and a half that we've seen him so far, James Child. New face on the Super League refereeing list.
And sometimes, you know, they seem to enjoy being on TV, don't they?
Well, Salford are enjoying this. It's our first visit to the Willows for 11 months. The last time we saw them was also against the Black and Whites last year when they lost. At the moment they're leading by 2 points as we approach half-time. Alker for Salford. He finds Matty Smith. Smith then to Holsworth. Good hands. This is Fitzpatrick. And he's flat out, is Holsworth.
Certainly is. It's always a danger when you take the ball, stood still, and then pass the ball on the inside. You are a sitting target.
Hands in.
Penalty here for Salford, another one. The penalty count is levelling itself up. It's 5 apiece.
Well, effectively, this gives them 16 tackles here in which to score. They had 6, they got a goal line drop out. They've just had 4 more here before they've had the penalty. And in theory, they get 6 more chances here now to score. There's the late tackle by Yeaman on Holsworth.
And Holsworth has not moved since that collision. Now he does.
To be fair to Kirk Yeaman, I really think that he was committed, but they've gone for the tap. Yet again, the Hull fans behind the sticks.
It's Alker with a scampering run. He finds Matty Smith. Smith then gives it to Fitzpatrick. What on earth was Fitzpatrick thinking of doing there on the first tackle? And not only that, he's then come up with a high tackle on Sean Long, giving the penalty away. Had a rush of blood then, the Irishman.
Well, I could have understood it if perhaps there were only seconds remaining in the first half, but that is amazing.
I think he listened to Phil. They didn't have to score on that set. There was no need to score. Even if they build pressure again, there was no need to score, especially not in the first or second tackle.
The Tongan Sam Moa driving that ball forward for Hull. They've got some power, haven't they, on the bench, Hull, tonight. Dowes, who's already been on, Moa, who's there, and Epelhami Luaki as well. Couple of big Tongans. Here is Sean Long. This now Jordan Turner. Tickle on the angled run.
Well, Sean McRae will be happy with their defensive pattern. But let's face it, Hull have only scored 2 tries. They both come from kicks from long.
That's Tansey. Nearly got away from Adamson. Parker was there. He wrestled him roughly to the ground. 4 tackles gone. There's Danny Houghton. Here is Long. Pops the ball up there. Oh, and it's come free. Knock on.
Lost control. No. Hit Lee.
Lost control. They didn't like it.
Hitting the Salford player.
I'm sure I don't know many rugby league players. He lost it completely. He said that he flipped it back, and he may have some cause to think he's been badly done to there.
Might have been complaining about the tackle that appeared to be round his head.
No, I think he was complaining that he lost possession. Yeah, he did, but he flicked the ball back, which was quick thinking.
Stephen Tyrer trying to get to his feet quickly. Craig Fitzgibbon all over his back. Penalty for Salford. 12 penalties in this first half, 6 each.
Well, no doubt about it. Didn't get off him, messing around. The law is quite clear. Get away, roll away, quick as you can.
Move!
Unless, of course, the referee says you can stay there a while, which appears to be the norm of late.
This is Luke Swain for Salford. Alka. Run from Alka.
That's good. He's mixed it up a little bit. He's been quite content so far to just pass the ball right from the dummy half position. But you've got to sometimes just try to confuse the defence.
Move quicker in these rocks.
Alka again in at dummy half as Lee Jewett plays the ball to him. It's Holdsworth again. Oh! Another heavy challenge on Holdsworth, and he's flat out again.
Oh, Luaki didn't half get his shoulder into him.
This is Alka. Alka stabs it forward. And Dowes it is, I think, who comes to the rescue.
Has gone
the
through
black and whites.
Going through the walls, isn't it? The standoff, Daniel Holdsworth. Didn't half get a good shoulder charge from Luaki.
Go.
Here goes Reece Lynn.
Move.
And this is it. Bang.
Move. Go.
Well, Holdsworth is okay. This is Danny Houghton. That's good defence.
Good move by Richard Agar. Danny Houghton had a little bit more spark there from that running from dummy half. That's a good kick. It lit the ground.
Might just, I was going to say, might just skip away, but it stood up, didn't it? And here comes Tyra again. Oh, he's lost that ball, and that's offside against Littler.
Well, it's always difficult there. He's had a good game, hasn't he, so far? Stephen Tyra, two superb runs. One that culminated in a try, but on this occasion, lost possession. You can't hold a board meeting, and Littler said, well, should I give away a penalty or rather allow them to run on and score a try? It's hard to decide.
And here is Luaki, who causes some pandemonium whenever he is on, as Luke Adamson is limping back into the defensive line, and Hull have spotted that. They're attacking where he should be. This is Jordan Tanzi. Important tackle by Willie Tallow. Now it's Tickle, and Tickle will drive it forward, and he's halted by Swain and Parker. Danny Houghton, the dummy half for Hull, gives it to Sean Long. Long attacking the line. Oh, and another knock on.
He went for it.
Snaked the arm out.
He went for the intercept, and he knows that he was just a fraction away from racing down upfield. It was a huge gamble. You could see Craig Fitzgibbon would have gone sailing over the try line there.
Well, handling errors, penalties and errors in general are costing Salford dearly, but they still cling on to that two-point advantage. But for how long? As Sean Long feeds the scrum. Here is Tanzi, now Tickle. And Tickle taking them on down the right-hand channel. Good tackle, low down it was by Matty Smith. Houghton again. Here is Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon goes down on the second tackle. Houghton in at dummy half. Looking at the options both ways. Gives it to Long. Short ball then to Luaki. Oh, he's a difficult character to stop this fellow.
Held up.
Well, the referee wants Steve Ganson to check out, but Luaki thinks he has scored the try.
Well, it's a wonderful effort, I must say, by the big second rower. Talk about upper body strength. Try to get it down. No, he's knocked on. There's a very slight knock on there. He does get fingertips to it eventually, but I think there's just a little bobble.
He's a human wrecking ball, isn't he, this fella?
Now, from that angle you can't see, but I think when we get closer, there's just a little bobble.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh. Which angle will he get? Steve Ganson has made the decision already, so this looks like a try.
Yes, Luaki gets the try. And Salford, they've had equal share of the possession. They've had equal share of just about everything. Sean McRae's and Richard Agar, the two coaches, on their way across the pitch in a moment. But Epelhami Luaki, remember, if you cast your mind back to the first weekend of Super League when we saw Hull in the fog at St Helens, he caused havoc then for Saints, and he has here for Salford.
Should have been put down. Every Red supporter knows it. Every Salford player knows it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't stop him. That is a wonderful solo effort. But I'm not so sure. There was a little knock on there. But I'm not the video referee. Mr. Ganson has given it.
And Tickle will add the extras. And from 12-10 down as we approach half-time, Hull have hit the front 16-12 to the black and whites. He'd be furious, Sean McRae, because his men have, well, they've done well against this talented Hull team, but they really have been, well, they've been authors of their own downfall, really. Richard Agar's quickly over. And it'll be interesting to see what the two men in charge say to their respective teams come the half-time break now. Salford on their way in. They really have had as good as Hull, but they've conspired to cough the ball up at vital stages. And Hull have hit the front, possibly at a vital stage. We're at the Willows, the home of the Salford City Reds, this Saturday night for the Engage Super League, and the Salford City Reds, third bottom of the table, 12, and Hull FC up there near the top amongst the leaders. They're just leading at half-time. Sean McRae making his way to the stand in this lofty perch from where he watches the game. And Sean Long, well, Salford have targeted him in defence, but Sean Long, for Richard Agar, he's pretty good with the ball in hand and when Hull are on the front foot.
And not only that, Eddie, is the fact that the first two tries came about from both Sean Long kicks. So he's a vital cog in the black and white attack. Oh, that's a bit of a dodgy one there. Just got it into Daniel Holdsworth.
He did. This is Lee Jewett for Salford. Juggling act from Holdsworth. Daniel Holdsworth, the former St George and Canterbury player.
Hold.
And Parker plays the ball to Alker. This is Stuart Littler now for the Salford City Reds.
Hold. Go.
Alker again. Infield it goes to Luke Swain. Good hit by Sam Mower, but high, says referee James Child.
Don't use it as a lever.
Well, this has been a pattern throughout the first half as well. They get in a good position, both sides, and then do something silly.
Puts his hand around the back of his head and then attempts to use it as a lever, and that's what he's penalised for. You see there, the hand on the back.
All the way. Come on. All the way.
That's a very deep penalty that's just been kicked by Salford. Here is Littler. They're in the danger zone here again right at the start of this second half. Alker and Holdsworth. And he pops the ball up to Jewett again. Jewett almost through the tackle. He was through the tackle of Houghton, but Dowes and Tickle were there to bring him down. Alker, the dummy half for Salford, fires the ball to Matty Smith. It's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick. Matty Smith.
What's Kirkpatrick doing now?
Carl Fitzpatrick. It's well claimed actually at the third and fourth attempt by Luke Swain. Alker, good scampering little run. 3 metres, 4 metres short of the line. Salford. Jewett, dummy half. Matty Smith, neat kick. And they are going to get a goal line dropout. Excellent little kick from Matty Smith. Bound to build for half-time news.
And it's fair to say that Richard Agar had one or two words to say with his team at half-time, because he was just a bit concerned about the way they were so flat in that first 40 minutes, out-enthused by the Salford side and not really getting into their stride, and that's what he's looking for in this second half, and that's going to be the key ingredient, just upping the effort, upping the pace, and really taking the game to the Salford City Reds, who, by contrast, pretty satisfied with their efforts so far, although Sean McRae really laying into them on the disciplinary front. Just too many penalties given away and too much ball dropped.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't need us to tell him that, would he, Sean McRae? He spotted it himself in that first half. And I'm glad to know that at least, Steve-O, his view is the same as ours, for once.
And I think all the players in the red and white shirts tonight, they realise that they've got to up the tempo, make sure that they keep that possession. They've got the ability to make the break, and again, they're putting pressure on this left-hand side of the whole defence. Sean Long has been pinpointed yet again, and it's not a bad ploy.
13, 14 metres away from the line. Alker finds Rob Parker on the charge. He dumps it back to Alker. He gives it to Jewett. Jewett then keeps the movement going to Alker again. Matty Smith, Willie Tallow, out wide, Jody Broughton, and he gets over in the corner, Broughton. And Jody Broughton gets first blood, second half to the Salford City Reds. The ex-Hull man, of course, Jody Broughton. He was on loan at Hull in 2008 and 2009. He never made the first team at the Leeds Rhinos. He played for the Black and Whites, and he scored against them here. Salford have responded at the start of this second half.
Well, it looked for one moment they'd gone the wrong way. They got the second option. They got the numbers through onto Parker. And then watch this Hull defence. They say, hang on, Jewett offloads. And this is a wonderful pass, isn't it? Willie Tallow, but how on earth is he squeezed in at the corner? 3 attended to him. All started by that beautiful offload by Lee Jewett. But the pass and the in and out from Broughton is top class. The pass, superb, but the finish, look at that. How on earth has he squeezed in? Great stuff.
Yeah, it took some scoring that, and Daniel Holdsworth, 2 from 2. If he maintains the 100% record, Salford have the lead back. Salford don't have the lead back. It's level pegging at the Willows, 16 all.
And the lesson is, you put pressure on them, get repeat sets, and you'll get opportunities to score. I've no doubt that Sean McRae emphasised this. Credit the run from Rob Parker. It was the intensity of the run that drew in all the Hull defenders. Couple of offloads. And this ball from Willie Tallow is fantastic, and people have seen a lot of Matt Gidley do this. As you said, takes a lot of finishing.
Jody Broughton will have been pleased with that. 3rd try of the season. It's a high hanging kickoff. It's a great kickoff. Fitzpatrick with the shout, and Jewett driving it back for Salford. Straight at Craig Fitzgibbon. Ewan Dow's there to lend a bit of weight. Here's a penalty for Salford again. They're offside.
Well, the Australian second rower moves forward. Tremendous forward. Nearly got kicked out with the ball there, but Fitzgibbon has had quite a lot to say to the official, James Child. I think Richard Agar might be better served out, send the message and say, come on, roll the sleeves up, get back into the swing of things.
Stuart Littler playing the ball. He has scored more than 100 tries for this, his only club. The Salford City Reds wearing 15. I think I'm right in saying that when Andy Gregory was the coach here all those years ago, Stuart Littler was one of his prized young assets. He's still going strong. And that's a kick from Alker from dummy half straight into the arms of Tom Briscoe.
I just can't believe why if they're going to do that swinging arm there by Holdsworth, well, that really is silly play. It's not being seen by the officials. And,
seen by everybody else.
Well, what on earth is the toucher doing on this side? You could see that quite clearly.
Oh, here he goes again. Luaki.
Will anybody go for his legs, please? Oh, finally.
Knock on by Luaki.
And put that down to Luke Swain's good effort. Okay, Alka came over the top. Luaki said, well, what about the tackle being made? But for once, Luke Swain decides he went low, and this is the incident where Holdsworth definitely threw the arm. Whether he was going for the face of the ball, I don't know. But you could be penalised for intent.
Well, the Hull and Luaki have been penalised for dissent. It's the 3rd penalty in a row in the opening 7 minutes of this second half for Salford. And here goes Stuart Littler again. Luaki was obviously a little bit upset by the treatment that he received then. Here's Luke Swain.
Well, Bill Arthur mentioned that Sean McRae not happy with the indiscipline. Now it's Richard Agar that'll be getting the message out.
Here's Littler again for Salford. Luaki and Fitzgibbon deal with the threat. That's the 3rd tackle.
Keep your eye on Holdsworth. He'll be the key figure.
There is Holdsworth. Here is Matty Smith. Short pass. It's Tallow. They deal with the threat there, courtesy of Danny Tickle. And here now is Sidlow again. Ooh, wild pass back. Matty Smith has it. Gives it to Alker. Alka thought about the pass wide, then he's dumped to the ground on the last. 11 metres away from the Hull line, will play the ball here to Talau. He will find Matty Smith, and Smith will hoist it wide, looking for Stephen Tyrer. Oh, Tyrer was taken out.
Definitely taken out. Touch judge had seen it, and that's good play. Beautiful kick there by Matty Smith.
You got a block back, Sean Long. Yeah.
Saying it's a block. It's a penalty for the block. And it's Sean Long.
It's in the in-goal area, so it's back in
No question.
Yeah, pushes him, never makes any attempt to go to try to get the ball. Stephen Tyrer having no chance with it.
So the fourth straight penalty for Salford started the second half. Can they make this territory count? It's with Holdsworth. Pops it up to Jewett. Jewett is halted. Mower and Houghton with the tackle. Alka wanting to get on with it quickly. Gives it to Matty Smith. They go wide again to Willie Talau. And Willie Talau, the legs pumping, he gets almost to the line. Here's Jody Broughton. Matty Smith picks that up off his toes. Jewett again. Matty Smith shouting and barking the instructions to his colleagues. Here he is again, Smith. Stabs the ball in. And this time it's too long. 16 all.
Not a bad option though, Eddie. Get that kick through. They just did not have the speed to get to it. Just punched it into the in-goal area, and they'll be quite happy. Hull, who have done this quite effectively in this game, is just utilised. This is the replay of Smith. Was he taken out? No. Holdsworth tried to con the referee, James Child, but it's kicks like that that can keep the Reds in the game.
Fitzgibbon driving it up the middle for Hull. 3 Salford defenders put him down on tackle number 4. That's Houghton. Here is Long again. Long just thought about the pass inside to Sam Mower, took the tackle himself. Last tackle here for Hull, and Long is hurt. The bang in the eye, has he? And he's had problems with the eyes, of course. Maybe got a stray finger there from Littler, did he? Or Parker.
Yeah, he was in pain before he hit the ground, that's for sure. Oh yeah, there was a stray thumb went there. I think it was from Parker.
It was.
And he could feel that he was in a lot of pain. It certainly did not look intentional.
No, you'd hope he's okay. He had a lot of trouble with his eye, didn't he, after the last injury? So it's.
And I think that's the better of the 2 eyes that he's just been poked in by Rob Parker, and it's closing rapidly. That he's not right. He's going to play the ball here to Houghton, and he wants more treatment as the ball goes up off the boot.
Too strong.
Off the boot of Jordan Turner. It is far too strong.
Not much wind today. It was earlier, but it seems to have eased off. Now it's interesting to see if the Reds can do what Hull seem to do on a regular basis. It's been a highlight for Hull this year. That good work in the forwards. After the kick and chase, they inevitably get over the halfway line.
Here is Henry going inside Sean Long, knowing he's got the problem with the vision at the moment, but Yeaman to the rescue. Tyrer and Littler.
And this is a good position. 4th tackle. They should be able to control it from here.
Holdsworth and Matty Smith and Parker steps out of the one challenge, but Danny Tickle was there to bring him down. Last one here for Salford. Matty Smith will drill that ball all along the deck. Bounces almost over the head of Tansey, picks it up. And Tansey running laterally, now he'll straighten it. But they begin this set of 6 Hull, 10 metres from their own line. Briscoe for Hull.
Well, good work by Jordan Tansey, but they allowed him to come up about. Oh, that's not back. Play on. Very fortunate.
He slipped the pass. Kashmir was there with one other.
Just making the point that Jordan Tansey made a good 12 metres forward, when it mainly due to the fact that on the left-hand side the kick and chase from Salford was good, but I'm afraid on the right-hand side they were slow to pick it up.
Here's Long. Luaki. Oh, awful pass went forward. Pressure applied to him by Mark Henry.
if you're looking, I think Bill said at half-time that Richard Agar was looking for a bit more energy and that his team was a little flat. If you look at the two sides now, you'd say Hull, with the extra 30 tackles they've had to make, look a little bit sapped, and they're slow to get into position when they do have the ball. Salford, on the other hand, look energised. Now, that's not to say that I think they might go on and win this game, but however, at this point of the game, they look more energised than the Hull outfit.
I think 4 penalties in the first 10 minutes of the second half has something to do with that as well, doesn't it? And generally, those things even up. I think Salford have to make hay while the sun shines.
Indeed so. Sidlow, who got the first try of the match, takes the second tackle this set of 6. It's with Matty Smith now. He pops it up to Jewett. Fitzgibbon with a good tackle. Oh, and then there's a flop there. Oh, and well, Mark O'Mealy was given a right push. It was his flop, without a doubt. But then the Salford man ran in and just pushed him off his feet, which has caused the chaos that we've got here.
Well, they've picked up on the flop, and this is it.
The penalty's given.
Yeah.
And Kashmir then goes crackers.
For what reason? I mean, it was only a flop.
Referee wants a word with Mark O'Mealy. And there's Ray Kashmir.
The tackle was completed on the ground. You come in as a flop.
We'll have a word with him, surely.
Listen, there's too many penalties in the game against your team. You're going to sort it out before I take further action. Go speak to him. There's no excuses, Sean. Ray, come here. Away you go. Go speak to him.
And Ray Kashmir, who spent the last couple of days well, on a starvation diet, he's not been too well. And Sean McRae persuaded him to play this morning. Oh, that's what it was all about. It was the swinging arm that came in on the deck from O'Mealy. That's what got Kashmir's blood running.
Wait for his foot! Wait!
Yeah, we never saw it, but it was certainly there, wasn't it?
Kashmir saw that, and that's why he got a little upset with Mark O'Mealy. And next time Kashmir gets it, and he's there, but this is Jewett.
Now this is where they've got to really attack Sean Long. He's still a little bit groggy from that poke in the eye.
And look who they've brought on to play hooker. Ashley Gibson here in number 5 is going to have a little spell behind the play of the ball.
Here is Holdsworth, and he pops it up then for Fitzpatrick. And Fitzgibbon,
Over 10.
he knew that was coming.
Yeah, read it well, didn't he? The experience showing there.
Luke Swain.
Now then, utilise the dummy runner. Willie Tallow is screaming for it out on the left-hand side. They've gone the right.
Yes, they have, with Holdsworth, who will stab the kick in, looking
Too
for
long.
Tyra. Oh, brilliantly flicked back, and Fitzpatrick might have got a try here. He might have got his second try. It depends where on earth
Touching goal, knock on.
Tyra came from. Did he put his foot on the whitewash when he flicked that ball back? Or was he airborne? I think he was airborne, you know.
I think it was airborne. I thought it was far too long.
It was far too long, Steve-O. You'll see in a moment.
And I'm going, oh, golden opportunity just thrown away, but...
Brilliantly. Poor palm back.
And if he's got the hand on this, Tyra's work here.
He's onside.
He's onside there. Oh, brilliant. And that is try time.
They can't even think about whether this is forward, can they? Because I suppose it's an intended pass, and it looks like it's going backwards anyway.
It is, without a doubt. And Carl Fitzpatrick, surely. Oh, it's going backwards. No doubt about it. The fullback will be given the nod on this.
I think that frame tells the story of this match at the moment. There are 3 red shirts closest to this ball when it hits the ground. The black jersey just trailing in the background. The red jerseys want it more than the black ones at present.
Well, Fitzpatrick thinks he scored his second try of the match, and Steve Ganson agrees. The kick was sailing out, and Tyra grew and leapt and flicked it back, and Carl Fitzpatrick, 4 tries now for the Irish international this season. 2 of them we've seen here tonight. Salford, they have the scent of a famous victory.
It looked far too long, and Tyra says it is. Johnny on the spot. Well, Carl, if you must know, it was a beautiful flip back there by Stephen Tyra. He's having a wow of a game. Is he impressed? He sure is, Tyra.
Well, remember when Steve Tyrer hit the headlines when he was with St Helens? He looked like, well, he looked like one of the great players that was coming through at Nosey Road of all time. He made his debut at 17 for St Helens in 2006. He seems to have been around for years. He's only 21. That was a great piece of skill from him.
Certainly was, and the kick from Holdsworth, I'm thinking, oh, what a shame. But when you've got athleticism like that from the winger, one of the tries of the season.
Well, Hull came here knowing their record was pretty impressive against Salford on this ground. They've won on their last 8 visits to the Willows. But at the moment, they're trailing 20 points to 16. And here is Littler.
Another two...
sorry, go on, Phil.
Two Hull supporters watching tonight, Eddie Peter and Liz Charlesworth, who's not very well at the moment, and they were settling down thinking they were going to enjoy their side here, picking up another 2 points. But you knew when you watched Salford traipse off the field last week against Wakefield that there was going to be a different attitude tonight, and their attitude at the moment is top class.
Yes, the chase is fantastic too on Reece Lynn, and that was a great tackle by Willie Tallow. 17-year-old Reece Lynn, welcome to the Super League. Down to Bill.
Eddie, Sean Long very much a character on the fringe of this whole performance at the moment. That's because of this eye problem that he's continuing with. I think there's a touch of blurred vision out there, and whether he'll remain out there, because his situation is getting more and more desperate for the Black and Whites. They can't afford any passengers.
No, they can't. That was the incident which gave him the blurred vision, but here's a relieving penalty for the Black and Whites.
They'll just settle it down as well. Richard Agar said, OK, we haven't had much possession. It was a high shot, no doubt about it. He's a key player. Maybe he'll get over it now, because they're in a pretty fine position. They've been just nice and steady in the forwards, and it'll trundle up again, and then Sean Long will take control.
It was Dowers with the first drive in. He ran straight at Sidlow. Here is Craig Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon is grounded on the second tackle, but this is a golden opportunity for the Black and Whites with Mark O'Mealy. Luke Swain in first, got him down. Cashmere was there as well.
Human's
Houghton
coming
finds
late.
Long then gives it to Willie Manu. Willie Manu just couldn't get through. Houghton quick play the ball, and Houghton is over the line, and then he's hauled back. And not standing square, Salford. No advantage given to Hull, so the penalty is given to them underneath the Salford sticks.
Great thinking by Danny Houghton. He could see that they were not square. Little doubt in the mind that Lee Jowett, he had not got behind the man.
Penalty count is levelling itself up again. Here is Long, there is Berrigan, and here is Whiting, and that is Reece Lynn, and a try on his debut for young Reece Lynn. A moment that he will remember. It was created by wonderful handling in front of the Salford defence, and Reece Lynn, he got 5 tries in 4 under-20 appearances this year. He got a try pre-season against Sheffield, and he was a substitute in Richard Horne's testimonial match against Hull KR in January. But the most important thing that he will look back on in this match is that his try has levelled the scores here at the Willows with a kick to come.
Came about by wonderful quick thinking by Danny Houghton. The substitute hooker, look at this, straight in, went straight for Lee Jewett. Referee had no option. James Childs gives them the penalty. And the rest, the quick hand from Richard Whiting is absolutely superb. You can see that Jody Broughton, he's left with no alternative but to go for the centre. When you're in 2 minds there, he had the centre all covered, who really should have stayed out wide, and what a moment for this youngster.
Time off.
He'll be thinking, how easy is this? Nobody laid a finger on him.
Well, with a kicker of Danny Tickle's quality out there on the field, even though this is very tight to the touchline and 20 metres out, you have to say this is an opportunity for Hull to nose themselves back in front once again. They're a different kettle of fish to last year, aren't they, when they won just 2 of their last 10. They finished 6 points off a playoff spot, but they really do look capable of getting back into the top 8 this year. And this is a vital kick for Danny Tickle. This for the lead. He's missed it. 20 points apiece.
Well, you've got to give good credit to Richard Agard. I mentioned the fact that they hadn't had a lot of possession in the second half, neither field position. But he knows that he's got the forwards to be able to get him into it. OK, quick thinking from Danny Houghton gave them the opportunity. Extra set of 6.
And successive penalties, Steve-O, have aided Hull's cause, as they aided Salford's cause start of this second half, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. The disappointing thing for Salford is that the first time they're asked to defend the line, they can't come up with any answers to to what Hull throw at them in attack. They've done okay attacking Hull's line, but the first time Hull have asked the question in the second half, down near the line, Salford have come up short.
Well, the match is to be won in the last quarter, isn't it? 20 apiece. Hull arriving here as overwhelming favourites, but Salford have given as good as they've got. And the last draw between these two, December 1970. 30 years ago, 12 all at the old Boulevard ground.
Well, I'll have a little shilling with you, Eddie, that it will not be a draw. I think one of these sides will take control, and at the moment it appears that the black and whites have just got the engine sort of ticking over nicely.
Long with a kick over the top on the last tackle, and Fitzpatrick claims it. It's a good chase though, and the Salford players are trooping back. Here's Jody Broughton, he was nearly away. Rhys Lynn with an important tackle. Now Willie Tallow.
Put himself about as Willie Tallow in this second half. Much opportunities in the first 40.
Just look what we've got coming up for you over Easter. The matches are running through the top of your screen right now as Mark Henry has a drive at Sean Long again. Briscoe there to help out also. Tyra finds Holsworth. He pops it up to Luke Swain. And Willie Manu was there. That's the last tackle for Salford. Now the kick from Matty Smith has to be good. It'll go straight up into the air. Oh, and that's off a Hull man. That's off Rhys Lynn. That's going to be head and feed, I think, to Salford. And it is. That's as good as a 40-20.
Certainly is, and it's good tactics as well. It hits Broughton, but it's definitely going forward. Either way, it would have been classified as a knock-on. More pressure. Well,
he had a moment to savour.
Yep, glory.
A few minutes ago. Matty Smith just getting a bloody nose stemmed. Now here's an opportunity for Salford again to reclaim the lead. Smith to Holsworth. Fitzpatrick, remember he's on a hat-trick. Holsworth in at dummy half. They come down the short side here with Littler. Fitzgibbon and Whiting dealing with the threat. It's Gibson, the dummy half for Salford. Now Holsworth.
And again, the key figure now for Salford is the full-back, Fitzpatrick. Eddie's already mentioned 2 tries so far. He'll be hunting for that hat-trick.
Good ball to Tallow. Here is Broughton. And Broughton's over the line. Can he get it down? He can! Second try for Jody Broughton. Salford get the lead back again. And Rhys Lynn, who had a moment to savour with the try not long ago, has had a moment to forget because he just lost the high kick that came at him. He gifted the possession to Salford, and Jody Broughton, that's his second try of the night, and Jody Broughton's try has given Salford the lead again.
An amazing try too, and this is the incident where Rhys Lynn just couldn't take it in. It bounces forward anyway. Either way, even though it touched Jody Broughton, they would have got possession. And how on earth has he got in? The combination between Tallow and Broughton is superb. The one he scored just after the restart was brilliant. He squeezed past 3, and he's done it again. The numbers was there. He should have been stopped. He wasn't. That is a wonderful effort. Not surprisingly, the Salford players, they're jumping around with glee. Now then, the pressure is on this man. They know they need to extend it with an extra 2 points. Can he get it?
Difficult kick for him. But the crowd will tell you and the flags will tell you that Holsworth has kicked it. It's 26-20. And Jody Broughton His 2 tries have taken some scoring. Ignito is in there in the crowd with the Salford supporters. I'm sure they were disgusted as much as Sean McRae was a week ago at Wakefield. But boy, as we've seen so often this year, the team that has a horror one week, Brian, comes out and plays like people possessed.
Well, Sean McRae in the picture there, he'll be delighted. Like Phil said, he'll be looking for a response, and it's a wonderful response from the team. They're building pressure and they're getting scores on the back of it. It's no magic recipe. They can see what they need to do. Just get down that end of the field, and they're causing Hull a lot of problems.
Alka, the dummy half, and here goes Ryan Boyle. Alka's just come back on, as you see, for Luke Swain. Before that, in dummy half was Ashley Gibson, who of course has made his name as a 3/4, but has played hooker for England in the past, in the year that they won the Federation Shield under Paul Cullen. Paul Cullen put him in as hooker in 2006. And well, it paid dividends then, and his move to hooker for the last 10 minutes, quarter hour or so in this second half has paid dividends for Sean McRae. Salford in possession, the tails are up. Matty Smith with a kick over the top, which will find the ground, but also will find Jordan Tansey.
And it's another good kick and chase. They really are up for this, and there's nothing better than to lift your morale and score a try. But the way that the winger Broughton has scored 2 fantastic tries in the second half. The combination, as I say, in the first half they were pinpointing the left-hand side of the Hull defence. Now they've switched it.
Kashmir and Alka, though, equal to the task. Houghton gets it away to Berrigan. Berrigan is halted. Matty Smith was there, so too was Sidlow. Now O'Mealy. Good hit. Houghton on the last tackle finds Long. Up it goes off Long. Fitzpatrick is after this. Oh, but he's clattered in the air.
Well, surely that should have been a penalty.
It has to be a penalty because Yeeman just jumped straight at him, and no wonder Fitzpatrick's furious.
Well, he's had a tremendous game. It was a wonderful take under pressure. But this has to be a penalty.
Tell you what, it's firing up both sides at the moment, and that's good for us here now, as watching less than 15 on the clock here. Look, Hull are determined now to force an error from Salford, and this is your test out just how good you are as a rugby league player here, playing now at this level of intensity with just a 6-point lead.
Well, they've made about 22 metres. They should have got a lot further forward because it should have been a penalty. No good dwelling on that, though. And Holsworth with the kick. It's another good kick because again it finds the deck. But back come Hull in the shape of Richard Whiting. Good chase. And the tackle was pretty fierce from Ryan Boyle.
Very fierce indeed. And I must say that the kicking game from Daniel Holsworth in the second half has been instrumental. And they're not standing square. They've given away a penalty.
You're not square.
Well,
Ryan Boyle not happy
was
with
the first marker, and he's the man who's effected the tackle. Was he not standing square?
Well, not according to James Child. Yeah, he's drifted away. In fact, they both just drifted away. Sidlow was...
Yeah, Sidlow went left and Boyle went right.
Yeah. Could have stayed behind.
But it's something that Hull are not complaining about. The pass is from Houghton, but it was touched. It's a wipe of the tackle count by James Child. This is Berrigan. They've got 6 to go. That's the 0 tackle. The Hull supporters behind those posts are baying for their team to get over the line. This is Jordan Tansey. Here is Yeeman. He's lost it under pressure from Henry. Oh, glorious opportunity. Goes begging for Hull.
Good work by Mark Henry. He goes for the ball carrying arm. Watch this. Bang. That is superb.
2 hands on his feet, Daniel.
Not according to him. Richard Agar, he knows that under a lot of pressure.
Wait, Daniel, wait.
Well, they are, because what's coming up on Good Friday for the Black and Whites, as you've seen already a couple of times tonight, is the meeting with Hull Kingston Rovers. And they haven't got much of a record lately against Hull KR, the Black and Whites. They want to put that right on Friday if they possibly can. In the meantime, though, they've got this problem of trying to beat the Salford City Reds, who look, I must say, in no mood whatsoever to let this lead go begging.
Richard Agar knows that the discipline is also the key as well for his side. They can't afford to let the Reds get 30-40 metres downfield.
Hold, go.
I must say the kick and chase has been pretty good by Salford in the second half, and again it hits the deck, allows them to get that metres forward.
Yes, Whiting couldn't take the kick in on the full. Quick play the ball though. Here goes Jordan Tansey. Boyle got to him.
Should have been a penalty. He had a second go at that.
This is Tom Briscoe now.
And Salford are getting burned for speed, aren't they, around this play the ball area. Hull putting the quicker men into that and just deciding to let's go down as quickly as we can, play the ball quickly, and while they're in retreat, we'll advance.
Houghton gets it away to Berrigan. There is Willie Manu.
Sean Long puts a hand up. That means it's going high into this corner.
On the last tackle, Long. There it is. He directed and told everyone what he's going to do. Tyra claims it though, and a penalty this time because Tyra was tackled in the air by Yeaman.
Well, he missed the first one to James Child, the official, but not the second. But what a great take from Tyra, and you could see there that Yeaman interfered with him whilst he was in the air. Bang. It's amazing how many officials do miss that, but that is a vital penalty so late in the game.
10 minutes to go, 6 points the difference, Salford ahead. And at the moment, it's a surprising night at the Willows for the Engage Super League. No one, I think, would have predicted this.
Well, I must say that Salford cannot just rely and say, well, we've got this. We've got 6 points in the bag. They've got to keep pressing, get in a good position, hopefully to get a penalty.
The problem here for Parker, he's immediately come to the side after that tackle. And it looked like a wrist problem for Rob Parker. I've no doubt that Bill is on the case. Here is Lee Jewett.
Into the corner, keep it low. Oh yeah. Use the ball carrying arm and then.
And Matty Smith drills the ball into touch. I'm not sure that was the best thing to do.
Oh, it just gets him in there. You can enforce the pressure. That's what they're doing because they know that Hull, he's not happy with it, but he may well be because they can get their defensive line. He knows that Hull have got to start testing their arm. They've got to do something different.
I think you're right. I think it was the right decision. Just he probably didn't get as many meters that he would have hoped. Kick him into the corner, force them to run the ball out. He just didn't execute it properly. But I think it was the right decision.
Oh, here we go. Luaki. Oh, he's given the ball away on the first tackle on Hull. Well, Richard Agar will be absolutely furious with that because here comes Tyra again.
Well, we made the point, Eddie, that Hull are in a position where they'd have to test their arm, take many risks, and Luaki has just done that.
Well, time is the worst enemy for Hull as well at the moment. And here is Littler. Good strong run.
Why on earth did he try to offload deep within his own half? Richard Agar will be furious.
Holdsworth pops it up to Jewett now, then Steve Oates. Oh, great offload to Fitzpatrick. And that is Tallow. And it was a good job that Broughton was there because he managed to get to it before Willie Mano. I was about to say when they were under the post, is now the time that Salford might think of a 1 point just to make it a 7-point ball game.
Why not? Drive in.
Matty Smith is there and he's held himself back.
Here he comes.
It's come to Matty Smith. It's a drop goal from Matty Smith.
He's missed it.
He has missed it. There was a chance there.
Is that a first? You calling for a 1 pointer before your mate?
I know. I had to get in before him, Brian. You know what he's like. He jumps in at every opportunity. Even when there's about 3 minutes gone, he shouted for 1 pointers.
I've done it with less than 3 minutes gone.
Well, if that would have sailed over, it would have been a difficult job for Hull. It still is, but it's not quite so difficult as it would have been with a 7-point lead.
Great ball.
Well, it'll be interesting here to see whether they have learned from last year. The Reds were unfortunate to lose a series of games last season narrowly, 6 points or less. On two occasions against Hull, where they went close but didn't come away with a win.
Well, here come the black and whites again. Forward pass. Forward pass from Tickle.
And Whiting had to lean forward for it, and Richard Agar is thinking that the seconds are ticking away. They know they'll get perhaps 2 more. It wasn't the best pass, was it, from Tickle? It floats well forward, and James Child was in a good position.
You've got to be quicker in the
And
rock.
the Reds
When I
will
can't
be
move, stand out.
in no
Yeah.
rush, surprisingly.
Don't move, quicker in the rock.
Neither.
He stopped the.
Oh, he stopped the clock, okay.
The handling errors, 14 of them to Hull.
Stay. Time will come. Out.
That tells a story. Here's Willie Tallow.
One. Move. Go. Play on.
Now Holdsworth.
Go with this one. Go with
This
this
is
one.
Henry.
Go on the 10.
I tell you what, if Salford hang on to this, and it's our first visit here for 11 months, they'll want us back every week because they've really performed well in front of the cameras tonight.
Well, they're going to have to wait 5 weeks before we see them again on Sky. They can't wait 5 weeks to play at this level again, Eddie, to come up with a second win. They've been close, you know. They played Bradford at home here, lost 7 points to 0. Could have won the game. Very competitive match. You know, a lot of teams that have played worse than them this season but come away with wins. They've just perhaps lacked that element of composure at times.
Well, we have 6 minutes remaining here. And that's the last tackle, and Broughton's going to get caught in possession if he's not careful. He's made a couple more metres forward. They're 10 metres away, Hull, from their own line as they start this set of 6. Maybe that was in his mind.
I don't think he wanted to do that, but Sean McRae will be saying, well, the way we defended, that'll be okay. Look, getting into the second tackle now, they barely got over the 20-metre line. The option is they've got to stop the black and whites from getting anywhere near the halfway line. That means that the return will see the Reds
knock on.
on.
Well, he is one of the best players and has been one of the best players in the world, but they all make errors under pressure.
And it's because they know that the seconds are ticking away. They've got to get on with it. They needed field position.
Let's crack in, Jordan.
But we've got news of Rob Parker's injury, Bill.
Yeah, Rob Parker in a lot of pain on that Salford bench and off to hospital after this game is finished for an X-ray. Suspected break, either wrist or in the arm.
It's a big blow for Rob Parker. He's had his problems, and he's got another one there by the sound of things. And Hull have got a problem here because this is Henry. Now then, 5 to go. Surely, if they don't get over for the try, they'll go for the drop goal again. But this is Gibson.
Well, you think so, but the most important factor, this is where you start rolling the tent out. They've got to reside down this end for quite some time.
It's Henry. It's Tyra. He just managed to stay inside the right side of the whitewash. Golka controlling it at dummy half again. Fires the pass to Holdsworth. He then gives it to Lee Jewett.
Willie Tallow is screaming for it out onto the left-hand side. Long's come out there to try to stop the field goal.
Gibson finds Tallow. He gets it in the end. That's 4. They're way out west, though, on the left-hand side. Salford, will they bring it back this way? Matty Smith wants them to. Matty Smith gets it. He gives it to Jewett. Surely Jewett will just drive it underneath the post if he can. Now then, is this the moment for Matty Smith?
Should be.
And they give it to Matty Smith. Can he get it this time?
No.
He's missed another. 2 attempts at drop goals. 4 minutes to go. Had he kicked that, you would think Salford were in the box seat. As it is, we're still biting fingernails here, both sides.
To be fair, it was good work by the fullback Jordan Tansey.
Samoa with a big drive for Hull.
We saw earlier that Sean Long went out to stop him, and it was Tansey on that occasion. They could rue the fact that 2 occasions Smith has missed.
Now, has Sean Long taken any of that last-minute magic from St Helens that he had for so long? Here he gets his hands on the ball, looks to go wide with it, but again, misdirected passes.
But they come up with it with Willie Manu, but that's the 3rd. They're still inside their own half, Hull, but they do have strike players. This is one of them, Berrigan. And Jewett all over him. Can they get him down? Yes, they can. That's the 4th. They're only just over halfway. Danny Houghton waits at dummy half. It's with Sean Long. Long trying to jink his way through.
Little chip over the
Gets
top.
the ball away brilliantly. It's Danny Houghton. He fires it wide to Yeaman. Yeaman comes inside Holdsworth, and Littler is there, and he's halted. Eventually, that's the last one.
Fitzpatrick is deep. Chip over from Long.
No, it's a high kick. It's a high hanging kick, and there's 2 after it in the black and white jerseys. Oh, it's bounced deep off for Whiting. The tackle's completed. The tackle's completed. Who came up with that? I think it was Matty Smith with that tackle. I think it was Matty Smith's tackle that saved the day for Salford.
It was. This is unbelievable.
No, it's Willie Tallow.
Sorry, Willie Tallow. I saw the four, but he didn't have one with it. Willie Tallow, absolutely sensational.
He's been outstanding all game, Willie Tallow.
Move! Hold the 10! Hold!
2 minutes to go. Salford will be in no hurry, but Hull just might have a couple more efforts at their line. Counting down Salford. They've only won one all season. Whiting was in for all money, and from somewhere Willie Tallow came. Cut him down. Oof. That's the fourth. They've not made much ground forward. They might here with Holdsworth. Oh, it's charged down! It's charged down, and the ball runs dead.
Oh, talk about nerves. Kirk Yeaman thought the glory days were coming back to him.
Gareth, just check that. Just check the restart for me.
Not the best by Daniel Holdsworth, with only seconds remaining of this game.
Just double check here. I think it's a drop back.
And the short in-goal area has come to their rescue.
Well, it should be a tap on the 20-metre line here. At the moment, the ref is just double-checking.
He's just asking Steve Ganson, and it's a 20-metre tap it is. He's asking Steve Ganson just to see how that ball ended up over the dead ball line. And between them, they got it right, and Salford breathed a sigh of relief about that. Because they're in possession with, and they have a penalty, and Sean McRae, I think, believes his team are on their way here to what would be a famous and a very hard work and hard-earned victory.
Well, you could see it was a chicken wing tackle, wasn't it? And that's the reason why James Child realises it. This will be up the jumper time. 1 minute remaining.
Well, in the shed over on the far side, the Salford supporters are dancing with delight. Not long ago, they were scratching and clawing and moaning because of the way that Salford were playing, but boy, they played well tonight, and the supporters have responded, the team has responded to last week's debacle at Wakefield.
And they've worked as a unit as well, including the man that's just playing the ball. Since he's come on, Stuart Littler has been a great servant to this club, and he has really put his body on the line as well. There's been some great performers.
Hold, go.
Alka gives it to Jewett, he'll drive it in again. Now is Matty Smith going to go for a third drop goal attempt? Fitzpatrick's there as well. Matty Smith has moved back into position. It comes back to Holdsworth. He'll have a go. And Holdsworth will win it for Salford. The Salford City Reds come up with a famous win against the Black and Whites, Sean McRae's old club. Their first home win since the 3rd of July. Remarkably against St Helens, that was. The third successive away defeat for the Black and Whites of Hull FC, who are sat on the ground and looking dejected and disconsolate. But Salford, they are absolutely delighted.
And fully deserved, Eddie. The coordination out on that left wing. Willie Tallow had a wonderful, wonderful match, especially in the second half.